वेलकम एवरीवन।
Uh,
आज बहुत स्पेशल दिन है क्योंकि लाइफ फुलफिल्ड लाइफ। व्हाट इज फुलफिल्ड लाइफ? जहां पर आप अपनी सारी चीजें जो आप चाहते हैं वो अचीव कर लें। आई एम so privileged to introduce you to Mr. MC Thomas, who is also known as Ponamala. I hope that I have pronounced it correctly. इन्होंने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी पूरी शिद्दत के साथ और पूरे अचीवमेंट के साथ जी है। इन्होंने 11 नॉवेल्स लिखे हैं और इनको ऑनररी डॉक्टरेट भी दिया गया है यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ हॉलैंड से। लेकिन ये सारी चीजें एक दिन में तो हुई नहीं। He's 75 years old, and when you will see him, it is like he is still the source of energy. You can be inspired and motivated. जहाँ यंग जनरेशन जो एक छोटे छोटे रिजल्ट्स के पीछे परेशान हो जाती है, I want everyone to see and feel motivated and encouraged. You are welcome, sir, Mr. MC Thomas. Please tell us about your wonderful, fascinating journey of life and how you have comes this far, that where you have written novels, you have built your house, as your granddaughter tells, and you have not stopping. You are still going on. That is the most inspiring thing, I would say. Please welcome.
Thank you. See, I was, I'm 75, getting 75. So, some 74 and a half years ago, I was born on this earth. I was born very poor. I was the fourth child of my mother. When I was 2.5 years of age, my father passed away.
Oh my God.
So, my widowed mother had to take care of 4 children, all on her own, almost like a daily wage. She was working. She brought us up like that. But I had this from my I can remember things that are from my age of 3, I can remember whatever happened in life. So that my memory goes very back way to my early child. So those were days, and then the times when I was born were the times of Renaissance and the Renaissance thinking in India and all over the world. And we got, just 2 years earlier, we had got independence. So from at the age of 13,
Right.
age of 14 exactly, I shifted for my high school studies to Shillong.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
From
that
Canada to
happened.
Shillong.
And that
Acha.
happened because, they were recruiting children from Kerala is very much Christian. Then it was about 29% of Christians. So as a Catholic, they were recruiting children at an early age for priesthood. So I went for there.
Okay.
So as I was there till,
Initially you wanted to be a priest. Is that
yeah,
correct?
I'm at the age of 14. So we
Wow.
were attracted.
Oh my God.
So we were selected and went there for studying there.
Right.
And so I had a little bit of, it was English medium education there we had. And then 4 years there, 5 years, and 4 years after that, I shifted to Tamil Nadu for a couple of years. And then I diverted. I didn't stay on that path of priesthood training. I diverted. I came back to normal thing and way of life. And I shifted. I taught for 1 year in a public school. After that, I was taken to Hyderabad on a big project, to head a big project. So some priest was looking for someone he thought he could trust to put up a project. And today, what is high-tech city in Hyderabad, that area, 155 acres.
So high-tech city, today's Hyderabad high-tech city.
It didn't work out because of land ceiling. After 2 years, I toiled for it. It didn't work out because it had fallen just at the boundary of Land Ceiling Act, Urban Land Ceiling Act. Later, that land was sold, and then high-tech city, it's one of the major parts where the high-tech city is located, Madhapur.
Okay.
Then I was sort of, without anything in those years, for a couple of years, I managed like that. A friend took me into construction. as his assistant, building construction.
That is so interesting. मतलब
Yeah,
you were you had a tough childhood.
yeah, yeah.
Mother brought you up. फिर आप शिलोंग गए जहां पर आपने अपनी पढ़ाई की. You became a teacher after that, and
For a
then
year.
you moved to Hyderabad, and then you started construction business. Oh my God! And you were I think in your 20s. तो मतलब
I was in my 20s, some
oh my
25
God,
years
in
was
20s something you had already so many transitions. And
transitions, had a lot
how
of
you
transitions.
coped up with all these things? Like easily? Was it very easy for you, or was it like because it
Oh,
needs
it
a
was,
lot of mindset?
it was tough in the sense I was on my own. I was
Hmm,
on my own.
right.
But then somehow, some people took liking to me. So whenever I go into some trouble, they said, "This poor man, we must help him out some way." That's sort of help I had.
Okay,
So,
somewhere
friend,
I think God was watching over you.
so I was actually without a job or just on, just floating.
Mm-hmm.
A friend took me as his assistant in construction. Then for 3, 4 years later, I went worked as his sort of assistant. Then suddenly we built a villa. That was the posh area of Jubilee in Hyderabad, construction.
Mm-hmm.
And then what he got a job in Saudi. So he left me high and dry with this job, new villa in my hand. Sorry. And like that, I worked my way up with that villa. And for about 10 more years, I was in the construction line. Then I wasn't very rich or things like that, but I had enough money to look after my children's studies or even
Acha,
their
in
daily.
between you got married
So
also and had
my
children.
ambitions in life was very, very, very low. I mean, as far as economics or earning money, wealth, or things like that. I want the minimum, but my children should have education. So when that much I had in my pocket, I bought some land in Kerala, in my village, built a house, and I asked my wife, my children were very young then, what about shifting? I got this urge to write, and I'm a thinker. So I want to express myself. I want to write stories. So he said, whatever is your desire, go ahead. That is,
Wow.
I mean, it's a risky idea because you may not have the income that you are getting now.
Mm.
Doesn't matter, she said. If,
Wow.
if,
Wow.
if,
What a
if
support.
it gives you fulfillment, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, 94, we shifted to Kerala, my family. I was commuting between Hyderabad and Kerala for another 3, 4 years, finalizing the works and the bills and things like that. Then from 2000, 99 onwards, 99 onward, around July, I started, for March, I sat to write my first novel.
Mm-hmm.
Very quietly, very secretly, except my wife, nobody knew that I was writing because a man who was with, bricks and sand and things like that, no history of literature studies or anything. But I had taste for literature. I used to, on my own, read a lot of books and get
You suddenly
prepare
got
myself.
inspired, or it was there in you? You used to write. Who were your inspiration?
And
Like,
now, Abhilasha, it's this thing. Suppose you have a talent in something,
right, correct. I agree with you.
it keeps simmering in you. And like a child, you are pregnant with it, it grows and then it wants to get out.
Okay.
It's like that. So it wants to get out. That talent wants to express itself.
Right, I agree with you, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
That
absolutely.
talent wants to express itself.
Yes.
And therefore, it was there. It was forming in myself. That child of my literary talent was forming. It was there, and it wanted to get. So I just an expression to it. My first book, titled "In God's Own Country," it
Yeah.
was 1,20,000 words. I gave myself 5 years to write. I had a room air condition 99, and then I sat in it and I gave bought a computer. Then computers were just in coming and move. very secretly only my wife knew, because people say if I'm sitting for writing a novel, they, they,
They
they
won't
would
take it
very ridicule
seriously.
me. They will ridicule
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So, uh, but then I gave myself 5 years. I said, first I must get into literary language. I must learn the language.
Mm,
I have ideas, I have plots, but I must put it in good language. Then I said, what to do, how to. They said, write something, the descriptions. What do you want, you write. And like that, when you don't get the words or the way of expression, then you learn from that. It was a learning process. Then I
okay.
said, what will I start describing? Then suddenly it hit my mind. Why don't you write what you want to write, the book you want to write?
Right, sir. I agree.
So then I said, I went like that. And the computer, failed me because I wasn't trained in computer. After writing a couple of chapters, I wrongly, pressed the delete button, the whole thing went up. I used to get discouraged. I went, let's stop this. This doesn't serve me. I can't do it. But then I said, no, this is the devil's work. I will not give up. Is I still wonder at what I achieved. In 6 months, I completed my novel.
So, which
I
was
wrote in
actually
4 months, and 2 months,
five
yeah,
years.
2 months I realized. And in 2000, it came out.
Mm.
In 2000, to my second novel, The Adam and Whale, with Soli Swarabji, released in
Yes, Dr. Soli Sarabji unveiled that
released in the
book.
international center. Also, very senior VIPs were there.
Of course. Yes, yes. Ambassador to Italy.
And good reviews for the first novel, second novel, third novel. The third novel, Dance of Shiva, I myself directed and made a film of it.
Yes, talk about that little bit that, out of you have written 11 books.
Yeah.
So why you made the movie about in that novel only, and what motivated you to direct that movie? Only one.
That movie, of course, all my stories, the themes of my stories are contemporary about independent India,
Mm.
the society. So when I was born that age, the society that was and how it was evolved and things like that. And India is such a vast place, so many cultures.
True.
It's a beautiful bouquet of different flowers. So there's a lot that you can put in, right? So between South India and North India, I want to connect a story. Of course, my first book also like that. This happens both in South India and North Kerala and the North India. And this one also. But then it was sort of prophetic. It was prophetic. It was about the temple.
Okay.
It was about the temple. It's quite symbolic of the Ayodhya temple.
So how was the movie? How was that experience? I can
And then
actually, fathom ki you were a child who went to Shillong and then came back and then went into construction, then it started to write. And, you never stopped motivating yourself apart from a great support your wife had. Like she supported you, like no
yeah,
unconditional support, what really someone needs. And then you ventured into movie production. So you never stopped. That is one thing. But what was your experience? Because so far things were like you were doing at your end. Like
and
you were writing by yourself, you were in the construction business. So that is like a lot of people, they do that. But making a movie where you have to, collaborate with a lot of people, a lot of technicians. So how was that experience?
every field I touched, from construction to writing to cinema, was a
Right.
new field. It was, I explored and studied and learned the field by doing it.
Okay.
So I had the ideas in my head. I had my talent, this talent in me, the artistic expression. That also found I wanted to give visual expression to it. I wrote a script and then I directed it. Then some people came forward, and I used theater artists because we couldn't hire big names. It was a very time when this low budget films had a reception.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then it was more of a learning experience. that was my first cinematic enterprise by which I wanted to learn every aspect of cinema making.
Mhm.
Because I had my idea, still I have the idea to get into filmmaking. I mean, director, whatever. But that is a field where you can get cheated.
Right.
And where you can also, you must know every aspect of it if you want to
I
really
agree with
direct
you,
and
sir.
get a good
Otherwise,
product.
people are definitely
Mm.
ready to cheat you all the
But
time.
I had a couple, luckily I had known the experience of, my friends had shared their experiences, how they were cheated, how they were, with all ambition, they invested their money. Without goodwill, they get cheated. And more than that, uh, you want to present something, you have an idea about it. So the novel was mine. I wanted how it should be made. Because the picturization of it, maybe more, there are people who are more qualified about that. But unless you know every field of filmmaking, you cannot have a contribution to that. And
Mhm.
then say, this is not what I had thought of in my novel, the idea I wanted to recommend, how it would have been expressed. So I made it a personal project and I learned. Now, if you ask me any aspect of filmmaking, so everything, all the lines I have, all my, I am also a social activist in my own way. So in every field, it was learning experience. I was never trained for anything. I hands-on experience.
Self-taught. Truly self-taught.
Truly self-made and self-taught.
Self-made, self-taught. How does that feel, sir? Being
Uh, you
self-made,
know,
self-taught, and so many things.
you
So
see,
many things.
I was like a seed thrown into the soil of the earth,
Wow. Okay.
and then I have flowered.
You blossomed
Uh,
into.
I have blossomed and flowered and attracted bees and butterflies. A lot of people have, that. And so I am a fulfilled man.
Yes, indeed. No
Now
doubt about
that
that.
comes and knocks at my door. Please come in. We are going, okay, happy. The seed that was there, sown on the earth, it, I, I believe it didn't make, I mean, it didn't capture the world or become very famous or whatever. It achieved its potential.
You are happy.
The maximum possible
You
within the
think that there are
context.
few more things left in you, like few more fields.
Yeah, there are, there are,
There are.
there are, there
If you could, if you can share, like, what are your more aspirations? Such a great source of,
is,
like,
is,
example you are, sir, inspiration for all ages, I would say.
I wrote my life story in
Mhm.
poetry.
Wow.
I wrote my,
How is that poetry?
I have few of my friends, till I landed in Hyderabad, I reached there.
Okay.
Then those who related, said, please go ahead, go ahead, complete those who know me. But after that, I have wrote 2, 3 novels and all that. It's still pending there. Um, my the ideas I wanted to convey mostly have been conveyed. But then you always get the world is changing, so you get new inputs. So you would like to put these new inputs and put new recipe and prepare a new product, a tasty product. So that as long as I think my mind is stable and I am alert,
Very much stable.
I'll be productive. I'll be productive. I'll
That
be writing. And if I get people collaborating with me, about 6 of I have prepared script for 6 of my novels.
sir, you said that you have translated also, right? Like,
I have translated.
you have written in Malayalam.
My
And
others, my books 3 I translated, then 3 books of others. Usually
Malayalam
I
into
would take
English.
up translation work, but then some friends, with their requests come. And then I came to Java because they would like to, they have written in Malayalam, they would like it to reach a wider audience. So I applied.
Originally, you wrote in Malayalam.
I wrote in English.
English.
I,
Oh,
I was not good at because at the age of 14 I was away from Kerala.
you left from it.
I had become alienated from language, and then after I returned to the normal world, that is out of the religious training, I came to the normal world,
God.
and then I couldn't actually fluently speak in Malayalam.
Okay.
Took me some time. Then when I lived after shifting back to Kerala, some 8 years back, I wrote a novel in Malayalam, and people who
Malayalam also.
then readers who read it said, "Now you can write in Malayalam."
That's amazing, sir. So you
It-
actually have
I
written
really learned my
novels in
language.
English, and then also you have written in Malayalam.
And Malayalam books, except one, I have translated into English. And then the 3 other books of other authors who are written in Malayalam, I have translated.
Wow.
Then I work as a language editor, also column contributor for Light of Truth, one newspaper, English newspaper of the Catholic Church here.
That's amazing.
That's for the intellectual level people of the Catholic Church.
Okay.
The intelligentsia, this meant for very serious physics, theology, physics, and all they discuss.
So how is your day spent? Because of course you still want to, do a lot of things, and you are a social activist, as you said.
Yeah.
So how is your one day like? Take us through that, because it's
I get up. It just happens that since about 3-4 months, I get up sometimes at 3:30. I think age has a role in it. Then I sit and then answer writing till I get back. Some around 6:30 with my wife, I go. We got a beautiful lake here
okay.
at the foot of a hill of the mountain. A beautiful lake with necklace road. We go for a walk there, come back. Then around 8:30, I get ready and then back into. I do videos on Facebook on kind of subjects. I write articles, and then also I write my novel.
You're still writing a novel?
Yeah, I don't stop. I do write poetry.
Oh,
I do write novels. I don't stop.
12th novel. When we are expecting it to be out?
Actually, two Malayalam novels are at that ending now. I just got ISBN for them.
Okay.
Yeah. One is about titled Kaligan. Today's world, desperately centered on Kerala. The next is about titled Number of Pookalam, that is a flowering season of pain. That is, the Corona times. And that writing that novel was a big experience, a challenge. We had a lockdown here. So the day prior to the lockdown, I said, lockdown was announced. So I said, what will I do during the lockdown? It may go up to 1 month.
Yeah.
I said I had a novel in my mind. This, Corona and it's, the world, what the world went through, the experiences, the social thinking that changed. The people went back to the basics to find job. That is the human relationships, the little things of life where you could find job. They were locked up. It's about a community that was locked up in a huge estate of 100 acres. And the families, their children were all, except one son, were all abroad from different parts of the world. They had come for a function, they couldn't return. And then they go back to the basics. First, how their parents lived, they had to go back to that and find joy in relationship. And that becomes huge. So that and the sort of turmoil that the world went through at that time, all that I have discussed. And in Kerala, it happened just prior to that, there was a deluge. So it was natural calamities one after one.
Yes.
So all that I have put into that. And then every day on Facebook, I wrote one portion of it. I
Okay.
didn't edit it. And then I continued writing every day, 30th day, the 30 days, the lockdown. And the day the lockdown ended, I
Mhm.
completed my novel. I
Wow.
did, I did little editing of that. So that was a very satisfying
Yes,
experience.
indeed, no doubt about it.
That book is underprinted.
I have to ask you one question, that what keeps you moving? What keeps you going? Because at your age, which is just a number, I completely agree with you. And I think that most of us should actually live like as you are. But what keeps you going? What is that one thing inside you which like doesn't let you that no, I am now, I have done enough in my life. You have, so now I need to relax. So what is that thing?
What do you mean by relax?
Like
You don't relax from life. You don't relax because life to the last moment is fulfillment. You are getting fulfilled. You are never complete. Whatever talent you have got, given by God or by nature, its full expression can never be made. Your brain, only a portion of your brain is being used. The rest was waste when you're dead. So use as much of it as right. Life, as long as you get it, life is worth living. Live it to the full. And for me, living to the full is my artistic.
so
Uh,
there is no other choice, no other option, like to feel that I have retired and I should retire and I just should
the
just sit
feeling of
alone.
retirement doesn't come into it. So the other day I told my daughter, now please don't take me as some man suffering from a doctor. See, I'm still alive and kid. Don't consider me an old man. I'm old. I accept it. I accept the reality
Biologically,
that I am 75 years old.
yeah,
But
that
I
is
will tell you when I'm really old. See, I'm getting old, so please be careful. I can be funny. So now I am not. I am in full control of my mind. As long as I am in full control of my mind and I don't have many health issues,
that is God bless you,
I
sir.
am productive. In what way is my capacity? My brain is productive. My physics. I do run about for my chores and things like that because me and my wife and me, we have to look after the house and things like that.
But
So
sir,
we do
but
run around.
this I think your wife has supported you in the best way possible.
Definitely,
Because,
definitely,
without
definitely.
her, I don't think that it would have been.
People say, but the fact is, behind every man, success is there is a woman, one woman or the other. Maybe your wife, maybe your mother, whatever. For me, my inspiration was my mother,
Okay, yes, of course.
but my background is my wife. So that's not for everyone. It will be the wife, maybe for some friend, some
Mhm,
sister,
mhm,
some
mhm.
mother. For me, my mother was my inspiration. And this dancer Shiva, one reason for making that into a film was my mother is a character. Nobody realizes that. Whatever values I hold dear, I got from her.
Mhm. Of course.
Because
She,
my mother, my father, I don't remember his influence. I don't have because I died even when I was 2.5 years old. He died. So it was my mother, my inspiration. So without anybody recognizing, those who read the novel won't recognize it. She's the main character.
a
Inspiration.
tribute to her.
Yeah,
See that.
tribute.
So I just
I wrote this as tribute to motherhood, not to my mother, to motherhood.
motherhood. So lovely. So before we can conclude this today's interview, I have one question.
Mm.
In today's world, there is a lot of chaos
Yeah.
in life, right? A lot of there's a huge population,
Mm.
and people are really, they want to just run after money, and they just, I don't know that what kind of life they are living. Like what you have done at every stage of life, you have done your best, you have achieved, and you have worked for it. It's not that it came by,
And
it came
again,
to you by fluke.
it
You have
didn't,
actually
no, it didn't
worked
come.
for it. You have learned the skill,
I went, I
learned
made,
art.
I went 3 steps up, came down to the like snake and ladder. But
Yes,
finally, I reached height.
you reached
It
there.
was a snake and ladder game in my life.
So, when as a result of it, what happens when a person is around 40 or 50, they really give up and they just want to sit, which is, even in my opinion, is not really a way of life. How will you inspire us? You being such an excellent writer, please, what will be your, way to inspire them that, the life never stops the way you have lived?
See, I studied a small poem in English. I forget its author. That was my high school days in Shillong. There, he describes in terms of about 12 lines or 16 lines that fate stamps him down. He says, I won't give in to fate. I'll fight out and make myself. That is success. That gives joy. Now, if you think of people who climb Mount Everest, for what?
Mhm.
When you reach there, what do you get? A
Exactly.
view. That you can fly above that height in a plane, you can get that view. The achievement, the struggle you make and you fight against odds.
Mm.
The joy of fighting against odds and achieving something. That should be life's, you know,
Idea of
leading idea.
fighting
Odds will
against
come.
odds.
We should not give it. Odds will come. Overcoming them is victory. Now, today, at the age of 75, because I have seen the world in its best form, and now I think I'm seeing it in its worst form. This chaos, these things happen in history. I'm not trying. It's like progress is made like that. It's like snake and ladder. You
Mhm.
go up, then finally, it's progress happens. It's progress happens through birth and death. The world has progressed from Paramanu to this stage. So birth and death. This
Right.
was not always birth or always it's birth and death. So that happens. But it's people who find joy in fighting against odds, and that is heroism. Find heroism in achieving and not giving into fate. And if you do that at my age, you feel totally fulfilled.
And how important is money in this whole?
Money is a basic need. You may need money, but without money also, you try to struggle to make money. My mother, we were 4 children. She had nothing. And she had to look after us. She struggled against odds.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now people may find easy money. She could have found easy ways because she was just 33, 34 years old. Easy ways to make money to feed us.
That could have been.
She proved herself and became an inspiration for me and for us. Because she chose the hard way. She asserted herself over fate. That assertion, self-assertion, that is self. Never give up. The moment you give up, you have died. You are dead.
Correct. Right. So
You are dead. You may biologically you may be alive.
correct, correct. But
You are
if
dead.
the brain is not working and if you are not being productive, then actually you are not really alive. That I agree with you, sir,
The,
completely.
the saddest thing, the tragedy of the day is that the values. There were bad days throughout history, very bad days and good days and things like that. But certain values had acceptability. Now, this is a value. If you trample on it, if you don't go by it, then your good or bad is judged by the values you hold on to. That doesn't seem to be the case now.
Mhm.
The only value by which you are judged is money and power and name and glory. That's a change I see today. Bad days, throughout history you have had, in the Bible we say Sodom and Gomorrah. You might have heard about Sodom and Gomorrah. God, it was such a bad society, the two cities that God sent down fire as rain of fire and destroy. And there is a question of God's angel coming and telling those who, the righteous man, man who lived there, now you should, we are going to city. Then he begs God, please spare the city. There are 10 people, good people living. Goes on, goes on. Finally, not even three are found. Only he and two his children are found. See, there is a story of Sodom and Gomorrah, I might have said that. But then from that, the word came back. So that someone must be there. When
Right.
everything is destroyed, morally destroyed, there must be someone from which the resurgence of morality and good life, uh, humanism comes from.
Mhm.
Someone will be there. So there will be some in the world who like Ice Age, everything was destroyed, but there was life in some form remaining somewhere. So the life came back, and then humans appeared on Earth. Things again, maybe a nuclear war will wipe out anything, but there will be somebody, some corner, or maybe we'll escape to moon or the other planets.
Going to Mars and Moon, I still feel that probably, it is really, really far away and will it
Yeah,
happen?
it's a very far.
It's
It's not
very
it's not as fancifully easy as people.
Yeah, when we talk, we can talk about it. Like someone told me, a student of mine, that, we will bring water from Titan, and because Venus is Earth's twin, so we'll just cool it down. I said, consider the logistics. And he said that he has watched this on some
Sorry.
YouTube
So,
channel.
because I follow every day at least 1 hour ago, I keep myself updated with latest happenings in science,
Mhm.
especially cosmology, astronomy, and things like that. YouTube have this idea of the subjects that you are interested. They keep on,
YouTube runs on views.
they flood you with that. I know most of this is fanciful rubbish.
Yeah, yeah, all the rubbish, a lot of rubbish, and they people on YouTube or somewhere, they don't really realize that, the content, if it is really, if it is wrong, then the children or any kind of mind which is, which can get impacted by that, you're just ruining their life. So someone should take responsibility, but yeah, of course, probably my voice will not be heard for sure. But yeah.
But these days, we are flooded with so many bombastic claims.
Yeah.
But patriotism, we must go back to a lot of things that our sages discovered, but not made known to the world. My philosophic thesis is the reality and the theory of Maya.
Mm.
But that my Indian philosophy, I think, is ultimate. We must bring it out to the world. But we must not make bombastic claims. Somebody
Yes,
is,
exactly.
we
Exactly.
had invented the computer, we had invented that. Then
Yeah.
our credibility goes.
Things can go inside the black hole and was something weird like that. I said nobody has
We
believed
lose our
even
credibility.
to horizon. I really am very, like how anyone can upload such kind of content and then
It's a cyber army working on it. They don't see, they don't realize that they are ridiculing their own culture. We are becoming the butt of joke.
exactly. No, so people are actually welcoming those kind of garbage.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Thing.
It's we lose our credibility. We must now reality and theory of Maya.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
showed that the world is an illusion and real at the same time.
Yes.
Illusion in the sense that we don't see the world as it is.
Correct.
Because the limitations of our senses and our intellect doesn't allow us to see the world as it is. But our intellect and senses are improving with the aid of microscopes or telescopes. We are improving with our own human inventions. So reality is unfolding in front of us, or we are exploring and opening it up. All that is there. But then this fan is full of rubbish saying, no, we invented the computer. Nobody is bad. In fact, there is a novel that is under print, and I wrote it 5 years back in English and uploaded it on Kindle. It is
Mhm.
about the Antichrist, the title. There is a long scientific discussion
Are you
bringing out.
okay with the controversies and all? Like you feel comfortable being like, because Antichrist could be a controversial topic, isn't
It's
it?
a big controversy. Now, three places I was called for my third book, The Dance of Shiva, symposium, literary symposiums, and they were discussed. And in two places, two, three, four people spoke on the novel. In two places, the first speaker said, sorry, we are convinced that the author of this book is alive because we are able to see him in front of us. We thought he would have been killed long.
Oh my God.
Fortunately for me, my books have not received a wider audience. And that's why I'm able to live and write. The Antichrist is a very controversial.
Right. Right.
It's very controversial in many ways. But then I'm bringing it out. I got the ISBN, I'm bringing it out. I had uploaded the English version some 5 years back. Now English, Malayalam version, I'm bringing it out. And I have prepared its script. And there is another one that my second novel. I added 2, 3 chapters of it to it later and made it the Confessions of a Jihadist. It's a very controversial book, and it sold.
Mm.
It sold. It was brought out by Vidasa Publications from Delhi. It sold.
Wow.
It has put in the airports. Very controversial book. But
Yeah.
then, and luckily, not by big publishers, and then I didn't get the glare of publicity. I'm alive.
You're very fearless as well, sir.
I know. I don't fear.
What a
Uh,
wonderful,
it's
fulfilled
not,
life,
not, not,
fearless.
not because I'm 75 years. Even when I was 12 years or 15 years, I never had fear of that. I was born.
So that was a brief, about you who has
Thank you so much.
fulfilled life. Everything what you wanted, you have achieved, and you still are going. That is the best thing. What I would say that, see, you are still not stopping. And you said, what is to relax? I
I don't, I
completely
don't,
know that, thing in me.
I don't intend
I
to
don't
stop.
feel that what is the meaning of relax? You are sleeping. So that relax, relaxing. You are relaxing. That's enough.
I can't relax. I won't relax.
Keep going till really you are not able.
Welcome, welcome to God's own country.
Yes.
Anytime of your choosing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this was just a source of inspiration for young and old who are either aiming to have a relaxed life, which is actually a not unproductive life. Live life with productivity. Live life with your achievements and keep striving for more. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Abhilasha. So great.
It was talking to you.